All right, picture this. Your team has been grinding for weeks, maybe months, building this new AI model. The code is finally done, the data's all prepped, and the final results? They're in. Everyone's huddled around the screen. It is the moment of truth. And this is the question every single project manager dreads and lives for. You're staring at the numbers, and you have to make the call. Is this thing any good? Is it ready? I mean, the entire project is riding on this. So yeah, welcome to the moment of truth. In the CPMI methodology, we call this Phase 5, Model Evaluation. This is where we stop building and we finally start measuring. We're about to find out if all that hard work actually paid off, and if the model can do what we promised it would way back in Phase 1. Now, these numbers you see here, they should never be a surprise. In a project that's run well, you've already defined what success looks like from the very beginning. You've got clear targets for things like accuracy, precision, and recall. These are the goalposts. This is what good looks like for us. And then, wham, reality hits. 82%. We were shooting for 95%. The model didn't just miss the mark, it missed it by a mile. You can just feel the air go out of the room. So there it is, in black and white. Performance threshold not met. And let me tell you, the real test of a great project manager isn't just about getting the model built. It's about what you do in this exact moment. Because what usually happens next, I call it the unstructured panic. It's this chaotic free-for-all scramble where everyone just starts doing things. It feels like you're making progress, but really, you're just spinning your wheels in the mud. So let me ask you, in that moment of chaos, what is your team's next move? Seriously, what's the first thing you would do? Because how you answer that question is what separates the teams that get stuck from the teams that actually get better. We all know the wrong way, right? The engineer starts randomly tweaking code. The data scientist gets lost in endless hyperparameter tuning. Somebody blames the data without any real proof. And the worst case scenario, someone says, let's just scrap it and start over. Look, this isn't a failure of your model. It's a failure of your process. But guess what? There is a much, much better way. The CPMAI framework gives us a structured, really intelligent path forward. It's actually designed for this exact situation, to turn this moment of potential failure into a clear, repeatable process for improvement. And here it is. It's called the model iteration approach. Now, the magic word here, the one I want you to focus on, is formal. This isn't about guessing. It's a deliberate, written-down process to figure out exactly what needs to change in the earlier phases to get the results you need. Think of it as your roadmap out of this mess. You know, AI development is never a straight line. It's always a loop. It's iterative by nature. And the CPMA framework, it's built for that reality. So you're stuck here in Phase 5? That's okay. It's totally expected that you might have to jump back to Phase 3 or Phase 4 to fix things. So how does it actually work? Well, it's a pretty simple 4-step loop. First, you evaluate. You measure the model against those KPIs we set. Second, you identify. You pinpoint exactly where it's falling short. Third, and this is the part everybody skips, but it's the most important, you document the changes you need to make. And finally, you iterate. You go back to an earlier phase and you actually make those changes. When you start doing this, it completely flips the script. Failure is no longer a dead end. It becomes a feature, not a bug. It's the trigger that kicks off your system for getting better. And here's the absolute key to the whole thing. That formal documentation you created, that becomes the trigger. It's not just busy work. It's the rudder that steers the ship. Instead of the team asking, what should we try next? They ask, okay, what does our iteration document tell us to do? So what do you actually write down? Specifics. Things like, we need to go back to Phase 3 and find more data for this specific edge case. Or maybe, the algorithm we chose in Phase 4 isn't working. We need to adjust our model development and try a different one. And for every single change, you have to document the rationale. Why do you think this specific change is going to fix the problem? It forces you to be critical and make decisions based on evidence, not just hope. And what you get from all this is a process that is repeatable, defensible, and just plain intelligent. You're not crossing your fingers and hoping for a better result next time. You are actively engineering it. And look, I get it. The road documentation can make people groan. But this is not about bureaucracy or filling out forms for no reason. It's about having a map. When you're lost in the woods, you don't just wander around hoping you find the path. You pull out a map. This is your map. So the big takeaway is this. When your model underperforms, you're standing at a fork in the road. One path is panic, chaos, and a ton of wasted effort. But the other path, that one's guided by a formal process that turns a setback into a launch pad. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. The next time your AI model misses its target, and trust me, it will happen, is that failure going to be a dead end? Or is it going to be a documented, well-planned launch pad for your next big success? The choice, really, is up to you.